Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to 2 Point Museum, where today we're digging into the Bungle Wasteland and Pebberley Heights, which is, what are we looking at here? Investigate an alien artifact that crash landed on Pebberley Island. It looks like it's on a platform on stilts maybe? And then our other one here is experiment with an abandoned science facility and see why its oasis has turned green. These both sound really interesting, and we're going to have to get to both of them eventually anyway. Let's just go ahead and start here. We'll dig in here. And we're going to check out the fantasy stuff, I swear. At some point, we're gonna get some fantasy experts going. But let's see what this place is all about before we commit super hard to trying to do it here.
Some unusual news now, as Bungle Technologies are working with the county's Department of Culture to fund a science museum. The facility will open its doors deep in the desert and will serve the twin purpose of investigating/eradicating a toxic site that one Bungle official called something they'd certainly never seen before. For updates on the scientific process, keep it tuned to 2 Point Radio.
Okay, I will admit that is not exactly what I was thinking when it said green. So, hello there. I'm Sophie Nova, founder of Bungle Technologies. At Bungle, rapid expansion has meant that we've outgrown and abandoned more headquarters than I can remember, but this certainly seems to be one of them. The oasis is familiar, but not the giant sickly pears. It used to be beautiful, but not this interesting. And that's why we're here, to investigate and remedy the oasis, in the name of science and legal obligation. The county believes there's a connection between the state of the oasis and our facility's underground laboratory network. Now, I'm not one for baseless assumptions, personally, but I am here to help. Here's a map of the Bungle Burrows facility. The entrance was sealed when we left, safety first, of course, so you'll need a drill to enter. You should be able to find the necessary materials nearby. Okay, yeah, this is really something. Okay, so we have an old incomplete flying machine that's also very, very dusty. A couple of helicopters. Okay, we need to complete an expedition to the Orphan Quarry. We need to hire a janitor. One who knows how to extinguish fires. That seems fine. Stormy's not great, but Handy is pretty good. Yeah, welcome aboard. Now, new map. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. New map. Send our janitor out to the Orphan Quarry. This area's unusually rich mineral deposits would lead you to believe that Bungle came here for a reason, but knowing them, it's still unclear. Don't let the name fool you. It's actually a really good quarry. But the name would certainly suggest that. Okay, so we have to send a janitor who is almost certainly going to get injured in a rock slide if we don't send him with a first aid kit. And I guess just, what are we even getting here? Science materials undiscovered. Well, I do so love some science materials. And then, is there anything we can... Yeah, we really do just have a second fully functional helicopter. Okay, we can't dig that way, and we can't go this way until we've done 2 expeditions to the Orphan Quarry. And I can't set up an expedition until we've finished, so there's no point in hiring another janitor then. I guess we're just waiting?
Based on observations. It really does make sense.
And then we're supposed to clear the obstruction with the drill that we built. Well, I mean, I guess, like, it behooves us to grab a science expert if we can. Albert Hands, welcome aboard. Please restore this exhibit. I'm sure we'll need you soon enough. And in any case, that's got to get done. Oh, this is a tiny little additional plot. Make and display a sprinkler pump. Okay, there's stuff going on here. This is just some bungle debris. Okay, yeah, it looks like we just sell it. Alright. No, I know we got staff on... You just hold on a second. Mashing the open crate button. Okay, there we go. Hooray, it's metal! People have been taking metal from the ground for well over 25 years. That is certainly true. Its uses are varied and plentiful, as well as manifold. Also true. Okay, we gotta make a workshop, probably. Unless there is a workshop and I'm not seeing it, but it doesn't look like we have completed anything right now. So, let's just take the corner of this building, workshop it, we'll sell that stuff automatically. Here goes the big workshop thing. Oh, spare parts bin. Look at that. Look how appropriate that looks in the area. And then also a trash can. If I put in more spare parts bins. There we go. Decoration level 2. I still don't even know what the value of that is. Okay, drill. Drill is made of 25 metal. How many drills are we going to need? I don't know. Probably like a bunch. Make me 3 drills.
Exchangeable, non-refundable, and non-transferable.
Oh, I have I have a janitor. I don't have a janitor with the workshop skill. So we're also going to have to make a training room. We'll just do that like this. Get a big old book delivery system. Couple of training tables. Or you can fit these aside. Right, will that count? Is that not blocked? And then a book drop-off point. Always bins everywhere because I feel very strongly about it. And then also, you know, some cabinets or whatever. Whatever it takes to get us up to level 2. Okay, it looks like that's legal and usable. Alright, I do need to hire a new guy because I hired somebody who has his only skill slot filled. Okay, immunity to seasickness doesn't seem directly relevant. You don't need to sweep litter. You need to train yourself in the workshop. It's going to take 30 days? Damn. Okay, well, in the interim, this thing just wants to not be covered in litter. Yeah, I can understand that. That makes sense to me. And then while this is happening, we should run another trip out here, if only to unlock the other point, right? So you get back out there and find me some more metals. Alright, our expert has very little to do. I definitely hired too early, but you know, it's like, it feels like you always want to have experts on hand.
And you're listening to Digging Deeper, the show that
I wish that
delves
experts
into the
knew how to
world of
clean stuff up,
archaeology,
though.
the otherworldly and
It's like I can get rid of this
scientists.
stuff manually, but
First up,
all
we
these
go
coffee
live
cups.
to our very own Monty Barnett, who's aiming to become the first person in history to untangle the legendary Guardian Knot, a feat that, according to legend, will grant him unlimited power.
Hello,
Is that how that works?
Yes, I'm attempting.
Hold on, we'll be right back to that. This is just a second here. Hooray! It's even more metal, the same amount.
Ravel it as I speak. Hurrah! Come on, Monty.
Alright, that fires this. Bungle technologies innovate at such an alarming, unsustainable rate that excess is scientifically inevitable. The parts they develop and don't use are stored underground, often in holes like this, for safekeeping? Okay, so we can send 2 janitors down here for even more science stuff. But they might be gone for a little while. I'll shoot.
Them. They won't be laughing at you after this.
Ooh, keep going, Monty. We'll check in with you later.
Guests are asked to make do with what we have. You're welcome.
Here's a very small staff room for my very small staff.
Expedition team returning from underground.
File cabinets for everybody.
Departing on an expedition. I'm sure you'll need it.
Do I have any like wall hangings or anything? I can put in a window. Does a window help? Is that decoration? It is a small amount of decoration. Okay. There you go. Now y'all can have a chill time. Alright. Let's do some drilling. Who wants to go and drill this thing? It would be best if we had somebody who was higher level. And we sadly don't have anybody who can negate that either. Oh right, and I can't use a first aid kit for this because we have to take the drill with us. So that being the case, I mean I did just install an injury repair location, but also maybe we should just train somebody in mechanics. It's we probably don't need a third janitor just yet. I definitely get myself into trouble sometimes with the overhiring. That does happen for sure.
Guests are reminded not to think about their own relatively brief longevity.
Oh, here's just more debris. Alright, so if we're gonna make like a museum out of this, this could end up just being like our backstage area, and we could construct a front space. Oh, well done, you. You made it in. And your crew found one of our old design blueprints. I really must make digital copies. Well, you have my blessing to use anything you find in the facility, ideas included. Blueprints will allow your science experts to build custom contraptions from materials in the workshop. The facility may well hold the answers to fixing the oasis. You never know. The spa point, though, is a rudimentary device that even your science experts should be able to understand. So exhibits in the custom contraptions subcategory provide special benefits to the museum and guests. Find blueprints to make new machines. They will require materials before they can be built in the workshop by a science expert. The science theme contains unique perks that can only be installed on custom contraptions. Find new science perks throughout the Bungle Burrows map. Okay, I will endeavor to do that. So, I'm assuming we're going to...
Staff in need.
Like she said, you already discovered something, so... Assuming we're going to get a blueprint here.
Medical attention. Thank
Maybe
you.
not. Okay. So, a spa point takes 15 medals and is upgraded when enough guests have viewed it. Interesting. Yeah, well, go ahead and build that. Now, is that a skill? I think it's probably not. It's probably just... You know what? No, that's just the science expert symbol. Okay. Well, great news. We already have one. And here we have discovered... Is this one just called Bungle? This one is just called Bungle Burrows. Countless experiments have been lost in the shuffle of Bungle Burrows' erratic history of progress and mishap. The underground lab facility, codenamed Bungle Burrows, is one such abandoned experiment. Okay, so we can find perks and also workshop projects. In addition, there's a thing here that requires a key card. And a thing over here that will require us to have earned $750 from our gift shop for some reason. All right. I think what they're trying to tell us is it's time to start having a functional museum. So, let us edit the building. I guess, hold on. I'm assuming people are coming from this way. Is that actually a reasonable... This is the old abandoned facility. People will be coming in from... I mean, it kind of seems like old abandoned facility all the way around. I'm actually not sure where people are coming in from. Well, let's just build like a room right now. Wait, why does it not want this? Is it because of the door? We can remove this door. That was it. It just wouldn't auto delete the door. Strange considering, you know, game's pretty adept at auto deleting stuff under other circumstances. So we can set up a partition wall and kind of like block off the back the back of house. So what else would we need here? We have a training room, a staff room, and an analysis room. Oh, no, we don't have an analysis room. We would want room for that. And presumably to expand the guest room, or maybe just to build a second one. There's also like a marketing office and a camera room potentially that we would want to have room for in the back. So like we need to leave at least 4 rows, I think. I'm going to put this door over here. Okay, so let's grab foundations. Sorry, cancel. Hit yes on that. I do want to actually move that door. We'll install another door in a second here. Probably also want to just move this kind of out of the way. And you are going to end up in this side of the thing. Okay. So, foundations, partition wall, leaving 4 blocks. I didn't move the doorway over quite enough. Well, actually, you know what? I don't want to do that there anyway, because we want to leave at least 5 blocks, I think. Because we want to have hallway space. Okay, so doors. Oh, there are one-way archways. I don't think we need to do all that. This metal archway has a science-y vibe, apparently. What is that? I can't use that as an exterior door. The exterior door object does have a pretty big... Yeah, okay, here we go. A side entrance, an entrance. I think we want an entrance, right? The difference seems to be basically just the size. Honestly, it doesn't even look like the size of the portal. It looks like just like the stuff around the edges. Okay, so we'll have this set up like this. We'll have a ticket counter, of course. Do I want to have a ticket counter? I don't want to set this up. I guess this is fine. We'll set this up right here. And then... I don't know. It's not going to be very fancy at first, right? It's just going to be... We have one exhibit, and it's not even completed. It does nestle into the walls real nice, though. I do like that. And then... you can't very well... Yeah, sorry. Go ahead and... That's weird. Did I not hit the right button? Actually, apparently, although the shape shows it nestling into the walls right there, did you see, like, when I have it moused over, there's actually kind of viewpoints from all around it. It seems like people want to be able to get to all sides of it. I think what happened there is it asks, are you sure? Like, I clicked like I was done editing the building, and it asks, are you sure you want to stop editing the building? And if you say yes, then it throws away your changes, rather than it asking, do you want to keep the changes you made, which would be way more intuitive to me. All right, we can probably let time
is linguistics enthusiast
run right now.
Tungsten McBlowfish. who claims he's discovered an ancient, long-lost language.
I have indeed, Haley. I found a scroll inscribed
We'll
in
do
an
that. We'll
ancient
hire...
text from a local
It seems like
supermarket.
maybe a couple of
After
assistants.
years of study, I'll now read it aloud for the first time in millennia.
All right, now you've built something scientific, I'd say this place is ready for testing on the general public. The oasis isn't perfect, but for that exact reason, I'm sure it'll attract the curious-minded. Custom contraptions are amazing, interesting things in their own right. If I say so myself, I'm sure guests will be thrilled to see them. Notice amazing in the color of buzz, interesting in the color of knowledge. You can always tinker with the equation as you go. Remember, in science there are no failed experiments, only interesting results. So make upgraded versions of contraptions by completing their upgrade objectives. Upgraded versions are more robust, meaning they require less frequent maintenance and take longer to catch fire. That sounds very good and important. They also provide more buzz and knowledge. Each upgrade also gives them an additional perk slot, much like the quality raises on normal exhibits. Custom contraptions can have a maximum of 3. Right, I believe it's generally the case that higher quality exhibits have more perk slots. Okay, so we finished our spa point. We're going to have viewers come in, or we're going to have people, customers, come in and have a look at this stuff. I don't really know how I want to set up right now. We'll just put this over here. Right now, the museum is a big empty room. I think we want to have a second assistant. And I suppose marketing skill is reasonable because we have expeditions that require assistance already, right? Okay, employ a janitor qualified in fire resistance. Well, that's good. Display exhibits from 3 different themes. Collect money from donations, sell tickets. You know, all the normal stuff. We're going to put up an info board. We're going to drop a donation stand. And we're going to do what else? We're going to install a gift shop, probably. Yeah, that makes sense. That said, I don't know exactly where I want the gift shop to be because currently, you know, like any one of these outer walls is going to become an inner wall of the museum eventually. I guess that okay, so what we could do, edit building. What we could do is like create a little hallway out to here. Maybe like that. Okay, they'll let us run it out to here. What am I doing? That's not wide enough. We want this bit at the end to be wide enough for the gift shop. Okay, let's say that. We're gonna put a door on the outside here. We're going to see. No, don't cancel. I wanted to stop editing the building because I was done, which is kind of what I think the assumption should probably be. Okay. And then we just put in a little gift shop right here. There's a door on that side. Come on, turn. There we go. And there's a door on this side. Okay. And then, you know, cool stuff. We need a trinket stand. Just kind of like little bits of things and stuff. Onesies, cool science onesies. What child wouldn't want to dress? Honestly, I might. If those came in my size, I'd consider it. What is on the science thing? It's okay. Weird little robot helper guys. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna make something of a commitment to going fantasy mode in here. We're gonna also offer dragons. Fun, purchasable dragon friends. Let me move this over slightly. And let's make room for science books. Can I fit another? I'm not going to be able to fit another thing in there. No, it's going to conflict with the door. We can put it over here. Oh, do it. There we go. And then just kind of like toys or whatever. In case y'all want some of those objects, like the kind that THX-38 buys and then just disposes of. And we don't have any particularly science-themed trash cans yet. We'll get some, I'm sure. I put this a little. I don't want this. I don't want it to be all the way in the corner because people need to be able to access all sides of it, right? Okay, there we go. I'm pretty happy with that as a gift shop. That's a lot of money. We're burning through the cash, but there we go. And that's a thing for a second person to do. Okay.
Denem weg nach Haus von der Arbeit Vögis bit nick noch Milch.
And here's hoping that people actually show up to the thing this way.
Don't forget to pick up milk, pilchards, a medium-sized lemon and beans on your way home from work.
I certainly won't. But what's my weekly shop got to do
Wait,
with
are you a customer? No, you're one of my people. Wait.
That make me not want to get out of bed.
Okay, good. I was right. There are people coming out of the facility for whatever reason.
Is a controlled
Welcome aboard, Maya Duvet.
me.
First customer. Okay. While all that stuff's happening, let's go exploring. So, we can find stuff here. We need to earn money from our gift shop. Okay, yeah, so for the moment, really the only thing to do is just check out these places that we've not been yet. So you do that. We'll pull Rose Grot, I guess, to... Two of these events will happen on the expedition. I don't love that. Let's go ahead and just take that out of the thing. We'll take the extra time loss in order to get some XP. That seems fine. And then, like I said, we're just gonna have to have another. No, you're not the person I want. You're not the person I want either. Let's maybe see who the next applicant is. Just a more... okay, you're fine, I suppose.
Scientific questions will be given our best theories.
A more reasonable assistant. Okay, actually, people are kind of streaming in from all of the ramps, it looks like. But I only gave them the one way in, because, we had to control the flow at the ticket booth. Saw very quickly everything our museum has to offer. And we could, at this point, just put up the job adverts for some new folks and... maybe this is, in fact, the place where the fantasy begins. Okay, so we managed to do the thing that we knew was going to happen. And we discovered a sprinkler pump. Caring for plants can be a difficult, relentless chore. Build a boredom-proof machine to automate the process. The sprinkler pump can restore botany exhibits as an expert would within its sprinkling radius. Actually very cool. Actually very cool. You know what? I'm going to hire a botanist. We'll get some plants.
Quiz after your visit.
We're also going to hire some fantasy experts.
Focus.
Oh boy, noggin codpiece. That's challenging. So you're a wizard with happy thoughts. A muscular wizard with happy thoughts. I mean, that seems pretty good. Victoria Trifinger. Somebody's got to, I guess. And Barnabas Batrastard. Barnibius, even. He is of the Earth Clan, and so he is immune to injury. What is going on that fantasy map? All right, at the risk of overcommitting here, we're gonna need people to do stuff in the museum. All right, this is going to take 50 metal. That seems very doable. Sadly, only our science expert can play on that one, but we should now be able to head down to some of these. So you need 50 fantasy buzz. You need buzz bonuses on 2 fantasy exhibits. So for right now, the only thing we can do is go to the fledgling arms. All adventures start somewhere, typically after a surprise encounter, a lengthy debrief, and some quick refreshments. Okay, so we just need a fantasy expert. If we send Barnibius, we don't have to deal with the injury thing, and we can just focus on expedition journals. Okay, you're very powerful. I'm sure you'll get it done. Also, it might behoove us to queue up some survey scanners. We can start pushing the survey levels on our sites more quickly.
It does not include a +1.
Oh, the door. Right, I was going to put a door in the thing. Sorry, y'all. That's on me. I forgot. Bathrooms. That's the other thing I forgot, is that there should be bathrooms. People should be able to pee. We'll put in a bathroom over here. Yeah. This should be okay, right? And we do like... do like this. There's a sink there. Okay, that should still leave room for a door, ideally. Can I fit in a wastebasket? It won't let me put one in over there. Okay, the wastebasket will have to be outside. It's not entirely ideal, but I wanted to make sure there's like a reasonable number of sinks. Okay. Should there also be a cafeteria? Yeah, probably, right? Four by 3. I'll do you a little bit better, actually. All right, unlocked ourselves a new location. Is that facing the right way? Oh, I guess. Do I want to do the tavern-y versions? I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. I don't think there's any actual difference. We'll put down some tavern tables and some science tables, and you can do your thing if you want to do your thing. Here's the tavern-y side of the room. Here's the science-y side of the room. Trash cans. Okay. And then we got room for another table over here, right? Actually, probably a couple tables. Is there... Here we go. Little fantasy table. Oh, it looks like actually... Okay, I think that all worked. You can also bust your tray the way you would like. Okay. We're going to need another assistant. Do we have somebody who's good at marketing? Did I pick a marketing assistant? Because we'll need one eventually, but I don't. I did. Okay. Then it probably makes sense to grab another person who's good at operating the ticket counter, right? Lloyd? Okay. Sorry, you don't really need to be doing that specifically right this second.
Get
But...
you down.
There we go. We're working on stuff.
Well,
Everything's
just
coming together.
can't stand being around people.
And we'll expand
You need
the space to make the fantasy
go-away
thing work.
holidays. With over 20 remote, isolated destinations to choose from.
Got ourselves a sprinkler pump, which we will, for the moment, just put down here. But we may want to reconfigure this stuff a little bit when the botany exhibits show up. So, what is your buzz bonus? You just don't like litter. Your buzz bonus is science decorations. Should probably put down some decorations, huh? Well, let's deal with this first. Barnibius, you invincible bat rastard. What have you got us? Why, it's fool's gold. Just like a chest in so many ways, but not like a chest in other less chesty ways, which is to say it doesn't react kindly to strangers. Okay, so it's enchanted, provides positive or negative effects depending on its grubbiness. Also, hungry. So let's all just be careful of that. Let's hold on to it for right now. Okay, so we upgraded our spa point. But does that... Sorry, our spa point upgrade quality was met. Does that mean this one becomes a spa point too, or that I have to now build a separate... Okay, no, we don't even have the ability to build the old ones anymore. Okay, so I think that's all well and good. We should build some survey scanners. Gosh, what a project. But we should try to have some, right? We should try to have some on hand.
Isolation and soul nourishing silence.
We are going to send fantasy experts back out into the field. Complete map objectives to receive rewards, like a growth potion. Okay, so we need to do 50 fantasy buzz and 2 fantasy exhibit buzz bonuses. So regardless of what we do, we're going to need somebody to come out here and make this happen again. All right.
Go away holidays. Voted recluses getaway.
So is there a way to... If this was placed as a 1, is there a way to make it a 2? And I think it seems like the answer is no. Do I have to just decorate? Oh, decorate the area around it. Okay. This is the science place with all the fancy gears on the walls. We also have light coming off of our cool light bulb thing here. Everybody come and see the amazing science garbage. Okay, and then feels appropriate to put like some piping, some decorative piping around this thing, right? Because it's all pipe focused in the first place. Okay, that's got us nearly max. So I must have misread that. I thought we were done. The problem with it is that like if you're holding a decoration within the area of within the decoration area of an exhibit, it shows you what the decoration level would be if you have placed that without indicating that it's doing that. And the only way to figure out whether or not it is already compensating is to pull yourself away. But okay, so those are going to be generating more buzz in general. I guess there's no reason not to display the fool's gold, even though we don't have like a great spot for it for the moment. I'll just put it down right here. Hopefully it's not obstructive. It will eventually want to be near a merchant barrel. We'll decorate. We'll decorate and make that happen. But that is a second theme. Hooray. So themes are the names of the over categories. So like fantasy or science. So I'm thinking our third thing here is obviously going to be botany. All right.
Gift shop is
We are going through that early
Isn't that strange?
supply of money really quickly here. People are slowly putting down donations, which we literally can't collect without some dudes. Okay, you're fast and your face smells good. Welcome to work.
Expedition team.
You have exceedingly little to do at the moment.
Sometime.
Okay, the cafeteria is making money though. The gift shop's making money. We're doing all of the things that we are here to do. Can't quite, I think, make super good use of this. Well, we have unlocked... Okay, we got our 750 money. A collection of scientific artifacts and historical inventions decorate the halls near the facility's entrance. The way things are arranged, it's almost like Bungle was planning on having guests. Curious. There's a couple of classic contraptions in there. Including, it looks like the flying machine. There's some kind of subterranean tremor to deal with. And right now we only have the one science expert. So to devote a science expert to this would be to pull off the construction of the survey scanners. And eventually we're going to need a second science expert, of course. But I don't know if I want to commit to that right now while we're not making a huge amount of money. Barnabius almost leveled up. And we got a fantasy statue, or at least part of one. A depiction of a genuine fantasy creature that exists in the kingdom. The real, unreal deal. So yeah, a third of a fantasy creature. That's kind of nice, because that means we're going to have a... We are going to have a thing at Pristine. Once we finish reconstructing it, obviously. Right now we'll just tuck it in over here where it can benefit from the existing knowledge and whatnot. Okay, this is a start. I hope that this museum seems to be working out. Alright, we have displayed enough fantasy buzz. We have gotten some new decorations and discovered Fairydale. I can't help but want to read all this stuff in the Dungeon Keeper voice. These painless plains are your typical saunter-happy scenic route. It would take really bad luck or remarkable skill to meet one's fate in Fairydale. Still, it has been done before, so we'd send out 2 people. I kind of want to try to finish the fantasy statue, though. I mean, it'd be good to see what else we need. We need nearly a whole party for this. The road splits in 3 at Fork and Forest, where it's customary for travelers to unwittingly take their first false step in an altogether wrong direction. And then, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there on that. There's also this dragon. A fierce dragon blocks the only path north with a mighty tail and jagged claws. There's no under, no over. You've got to go through it. And it might be fire. So a dragon tail potion is required to attack this. I guess we'll figure that stuff out later. For right now, we're earning potions by completing these objectives. Let me try to help the museum first. So we'll send Barnabius out on this. We don't really need to survey scan this one because we're hoping to come back with pieces that will automatically create something pristine. So I'm gonna stick to journaling here and trying to push level up. Hi. What you think you're doing? Didn't take very long. Where's my security guard? It says in criminal pursuit already. Yep, indeed. 100% on top of it, it turns out. Look at all this maintenance that's occurring. Yeah, it did seem like he wasn't going to steal it. He just he did something in front of it and its buzz went down. So I guess he was just vandalizing it. It's just kind of like making my life worse for no reason, which I don't really appreciate. do kind of want to have another science expert. I know we're not making great cash right now, but Penny Stench. See, the thing about this is Penny Stench, unfortunately, like having a not ideal skill is a real bummer for the way that it gums up the skill slot, and level 5 is, it's a distance from here for sure. I wish I could grab somebody with an open slot so we could train in like survival skills or survey skills. And I guess I can advertise for it. Let's... 7,500 feels like a lot. Yeah. We'll just wait. It's not that big of a deal. All right, our first survey scanner is ready, which is great news. We've almost got our $500 from donations here.
Expedition complete. Fetch the crew.
Okay, another fool's gold, a better fool's gold. And I guess this is the point where suddenly it becomes valuable to place an analysis room. So perhaps we should. We're going to need it eventually no matter what, right? Okay, do that. Garbage can. Decoration level 2. Alright, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and toss this low tier fool's gold right in there. We're going to have to... Oops. We have to make sure we actually have somebody who has the appropriate skills. Wow, that is really quite a boost. Alright, we're gonna need...
Any perceived sarcasm is purely coincidental.
We're gonna need 3 fantasy experts pretty soon anyway, so I don't feel too bad about that. When you're done making the survey things, we'll make the spot point 2. I don't believe I can... No, I cannot in-queue another project. That's a real shame. Okay, let's... I think just keep at this for the moment. Barnibius is getting real tough.
Time now for another educational
And we'll focus
slice
on our
of
science
trivia.
levels later.
Did you know that today marks the 3rd anniversary of the disappearance of renowned scientist Dr. Miriam Saltbeam, who was last seen boarding a plane clutching a suitcase full of research funding? Local search and rescue teams speculate that she may have used the money to construct an invisibility ray, which would explain her disappearance. Wish I could make this part of the show disappear. Here's another tune to hopefully completely take your mind.
I guess I kind of screwed up here because I built this, thinking this could be a hallway, but then I constructed the bathroom all the way down. What I should have done is kind of slid everything up, and that would be easier to get in and out. I don't know what I was doing.
The expedition team are departing now. I'm always so glad that I don't have to go.
I mean, the expedition teams, they're on their way back already. I guess that message was just very delayed. Alright, come on, fantasy creature. Cool. Wings, cool. Seems useful.
So, what's in the box? Announcement. Analysis complete. Learn anything good?
Alright, we got our fantasy-styled bench, which is neat. And let's give this one more go. I think we can, I think we probably get it here. And like I said, it's not important for us to use the survey scanners just yet. So we're also going to need to find, like, a botany exhibit somewhere. A library of ideas, all sorts of file size. Library, probably not the best place to find a bunch of plants. There's got to be some kind of plant stuff going on here. Look at all the plant life we're seeing in the weird, gross ponds. Sophie Sofa's doing important work right now. This is a pretty short... You know what, go ahead.
But I'm not that familiar.
And I know I have her working on survey scanners, and then I didn't even use a survey scanner, but I think it's more valuable to avoid injuries at this point.
Announcement. Exhaustive expeditions may be exhausting.
All right, we have... Here we go. Jake Dingle. Wanted a science expert with an open slot that can be trained into something useful. It's possible that the smartest thing to do here is to just wait. But we've already seen one thing asking for survey skills, and then obviously, you know, survey boosting every one of your trips is really nice. It gets the sites leveled up and results in you getting better loot faster. Okay, Sprinkler Pump 2 also unlocked.
There's a crate on the helipad.
Takes longer breaks.
Expedition team
Well, whatever. We're good. We don't need to do it. I was just thinking, like, it would be nice to have somebody keep working while the janitors are out, but we're all set. We discovered 50 whirlycog. Sophie Nova invented the whirlycog on a 45-minute train journey. It's been a staple component of Bungle's inventions ever since. It looks like it just looks like a cog.
good news.
I don't see what's so special. Barnibius is very nearly level 4, and he did level up the site, which means even if we get more Fool's Gold, it should be... I was going to say it should be one level higher. Well, you know what? Send inventory. This is going in the grinder, too. That's what I think. Going to max out our knowledge of that type of exhibit.
In the gift shop. They might be too good.
All right. Barnibius, my dude, you are killing me. Please just get the other thing.
May be exhausting.
All right, and y'all... I really want to finish that statue. Oh, wait. Yep, that's right. I just sent... What am I thinking? I just sent you out to do that. The other thing we wanted running was another Bungle Burrows at the same time. Let's see about these. So we need to send a science expert. We'll send Jake with his incredible goggles. We will avoid the time-consuming injury. Alright.
Expedition is leaving now.
We'll bring back some important survey data. Pulling that apart, and yeah, people are mostly being pretty cool. I could go to a different map to get my botany thing, I suppose. And maybe it's a good idea, given that it is kind of like bottlenecking our move right now. Oh, we got a dilemma at the Fledgling Arms. Your team come across a traveling potion seller. Believing a battle is imminent, they ask for the seller's strongest potions. Well, I think we all know how that's going to go. I mean, our person is already very strong, so it feels like a dexterity potion would probably be more relevant. Okay, seemingly uninterested in haggling, the seller mutters to themselves, saying something about a beast. The team decide to grab the potion and leave the cash. That's a very expensive potion. I wish I had realized. It's a very expensive potion. What the hell? Okay, that cleared the schedule here. So let's make a spa point 2, and then the other thing 2, and then
There's a difference between exhibits, expeditions, and exhibitions.
something.
They're explicitly different words.
The narrator, not narrator, the announcer in the museum absolutely calling me out there. All right, show me the good thing. Okay, cool. We have finished the head of this bird. All right. Love a pristine objective. And that does
Announcement.
encourage me to go out to more complicated things. I mean, let's start with this. So we have a pair of fantasy experts who should be fairly good at this. Ah, that's not what I meant to do. So that's 5 brains, 5 wisdom. And then there's a luck one and a speed one. And we certainly have enough luck. The wizard's speed is also quite high. Yeah, we can in fact force this up to be the good stuff. And you know what? Let's survey scan it, go detailed. We'll try to get this leveled up in the fewest swings possible. Something cool? A jab maestro, the predecessor to the modern-day jab master. This trusty old machine revolutionized medicine, one clumsy stab at a time. Okay, we're missing a lot of pieces. I was going to say, this does not make sense to me as any kind of medical machine,
Announcement.
but that'd be why. Wow, they built that already? That's crazy. Build me one of these two. And then I guess... yeah, we'll throw that in the inventory for the moment. Let's get the spa point 2 out here. And nobody's the wiser. What do you need? Okay, you're all good. Cool. That's actually really great. Okay, people are feeling sketchy about their money since things are getting weird around them. Things are just disappearing off the surface of the world. So I wonder if that other contraption is going to be as multi-part. I'm gonna really try to avoid the injury, I think. It just seems like we don't really have time for people to be out of commission right now.
Guests with questions are commended.
Yeah,
for
we're
their
always
curiosity. Well done, you.
always short a hand or two. But I'll tell you, I'm definitely worried about running into serious money problems like we did earlier. All right, analysis room is almost finished.
Is complete. Our collective knowledge has increased.
It's hard for me to believe that a blacksmith would prefer a bin made out of wood. But you know, it is what it is. All right, let me pull this up. Put this down over here. Someday this tour is going to be excellent. Now I have a bunch of objects. Well, the Jab Meister I should put down. First of all, it's objectively great. And secondly, I didn't know what it was until about 2 seconds ago. Okay, it's not getting all of the decorations from everybody else. what does it want? It wants to not be near litter. And then, what if you were some kind of science-y, sort of old school... Yeah, we have a lot of decorations related to the horror theme. Not so much this theme. Presumably mostly from just, like, playing, right? And then... Yeah, okay, we can't collide with that. There we go. 5 out of 5. And you know what? With that, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of irons in the fire, but I don't foresee it changing anytime soon. So you know what? I think with that, we're just going to go ahead and call it there for today. That's going to be it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we have fantasy exhibits to keep gathering. We should probably try to like make space for an actual fantasy area in the museum. And then also we got to find some plants. And then hopefully get our 1-star at some point so that we can move on to our other museum. We got a lot going on here. So come back next time for managing that. And we'll see you then.